Mary Cranley opened her eyes and sat up in bed with a start. Her bedroom was bathed in total darkness, save for a sliver of light creeping in through a gap in the curtains. She strained to hear the noise that had woken her, but there was no evidence of it now. She was sure that whatever it was, it had emanated from downstairs. Mary reached over instinctively to switch on the bedside lamp. But then she stopped herself. She continued to listen for the sound to reoccur, her eyes growing accustomed to the dimness the longer she waited. It had sounded like a window breaking, or perhaps a vase had fallen off a shelf. Mary was by no means a timid woman. She prided herself on that fact. So if it turned out there was something to investigate, she was more than prepared to carry out that investigation herself. She waited a moment longer in the darkness, but there was no other sound to be heard. Finally, assured by the fact that she would be unable to return to sleep without inspecting the house first, Mary threw back the covers and swung her legs over the bed. She slipped her feet into her slippers and retrieved her dressing gown from the chair by her bed, where she had left it the previous evening. She crept over to her bedroom door and listened through the wood for any sound. There was none. There was no telephone in her bedroom, but Mary did keep one on each landing for the benefit of her lodgers. But even so, she felt no immediate threat, and the idea of phoning the police to report a possible intruder seemed to her a trifle impetuous at this stage. After a moment, she carefully opened her door and peered out into the corridor. The house appeared completely still, with no noise whatsoever to cause her alarm. Mary considered returning to bed, but then decided that as she was awake, she might as well complete her search of the house, even if just to satisfy her curiosity. Switching on the landing light, Mary cautiously began moving through the rooms on her floor. Her house was on 3 levels, including the attic, and her bedroom was on the 2nd floor. There were 2 more bedrooms on this floor, plus a separate bathroom and toilet. Mary checked each room without finding anything untoward. As she made her way down to the next level, she switched off the upper landing light and turned on the one for the 2nd level. Again, everything appeared to be in order, so Mary continued her search of the rooms on this floor. Having checked 2 of the bedrooms, she stopped once she was outside Jenna's uncle's room. Mary had always made a point of not entering her gentlemen's rooms in their absence without prior notice. But under present circumstances, and considering what that charming police officer had said yesterday, she decided that there could be no objection to her breaking one of her own house rules. She turned the handle and pushed open the door, reaching for the light switch on the wall as she entered. Mary flicked the switch down and up several times before accepting that the bulb had blown. She wondered if that had been the noise she heard. They did make a rather loud popping sound when they blew. But then she considered that in order for the bulb to blow like that, it had to be switched on in the first place. Mary scanned the darkened room, but with the curtains fully closed, she could make out nothing other than meaningless shadows. Just then, from the corner of her eye, she was sure that she had caught a movement over by the wardrobe. She strained to see more clearly, but now everything appeared still. Mary shook her head. "You're starting to lose it, girl," she reprimanded herself.